There's a big fight in town. A real cold snap here in Vegas. The temperature today only in the upper 90s, but it's nice and comfortable inside here. This is the Grand Ballroom at Bally's, and that's where we are right now for a little middleweight action. Let's go ahead and take a look at the middleweight division. There's Mike McClelland, who's the WBA champ. Over in the IBF, it's Michael Nunn. He meets Donald Curry in October. The WBC has been stripped of Roberto Duran. The WBO champion there is Nigel Benn, and Iran Barkley is the number 4 contender. Well, much has been said and written about this fight, and maybe my favorite line of all is that under no circumstances will this be a beauty contest. These are two of boxing's better brawlers. Let me now turn to my partner, Alex Wallow. Alex, they're fighting for the WBO title. Certainly not as prestigious as one of the big three, but nonetheless, regardless of the sanctioning body, this is a good fight.
Yeah, Dan, really, as we found out before, it's not the name of the sanctioning body. It's really the names of the fighters. And when the names of the fighters are Benn and Barkley, it's an explosive matchup of punches that should mean outstanding action as long as it lasts. It's also a matchup of two interesting personalities. The Englishman, Nigel Benn, 5 years in the British Army, turned professional boxer, ran off 22 straight knockouts, but Nigel showed no stamina and no chin when he stepped up in class last year against Michael Watson and was stopped in the 6th round. But importantly, Nigel responded well to the loss. He said it was a blessing in disguise. He said it proved to him how much he had to learn. He changed trainers. He moved his boxing base to Miami. He took fights against solid opposition, learned how to pace himself, and appeared much improved in beating Doug DeWitt last April. So, Nigel Benn appears to have his career on the right track. Iran Barkley's career has been on track for a while, since he emerged from the infamous projects of the South Bronx to become a world champion with his sensational 1988 knockout of Thomas Hearns. Iran lost close decisions last year to Roberto Duran and Michael Nunn, and then last December, he had surgery for a detached retina. He ballooned up to 217 pounds, 217 pounds after that. He's been inactive for over a year, and on a personal level, Iran's father passed away last Sunday. All those factors have been combined to make the younger, fresher fighter, Nigel Benn, a 9-5 favorite. But both men have the kind of power that can turn the fight around on a single punch. And when you have two bombers, it's often the man who lands his bomb first that comes out on top.
Okay, Alex, let's bring up the tail of the tape and look at the numbers for today's fight. Benn makes that weight easily. Barkley, as Alex just told you, really works to get to that 160. The rules today, the WBO version, 10-point must system. The 3 knockdown is in effect. The standing 8 is not. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except the final round, and only the referee can stop the fight. There is the opening bell, and we are underway. And as expected, it gets started in the middle of the ring. And Nigel Benn lands a right to get this one underway. Nigel Benn wearing the sequin trunks. Iran Barkley in the red is down.
Not only is he down, but he hit his man while he was down, and he gave valuable time to Barkley. Although the referee did pick up the count on 6.
And Carlos Padilla is our referee today. A shocking first round. Barely underway. Again, Benn in the sequin trunks. The blade, Iran Barkley wearing the red.
Iran has shown recuperative powers in the past, Dan. Was getting beat up badly by Thomas Hearns when he stopped him. But he really looked very wooden when he came out of the corner. And there!
Counterpunch by Iran Barkley. And now it's Barkley backing Benn into the rope. A good counterpunch by Barkley, a good left hand.
Oh, both men are hurt.
And checking it out. A loaded up right hand by Benn. Misses. A couple short counters. Those punches, Alex, from Barkley don't look like they have a whole lot on them.
Well, they're having an effect on Nigel Benn. I mean, Nigel Benn's chin has been suspect since the loss to Watson, as we said.
I was talking about just those last couple.
Oh, okay. Well,
they're nothing but arm punches. Well, we knew that a lot of big punches were going to be thrown, but... Oh, and there's a good right hand by Benn. got over the glove of Barkley.
Iran's punches are just painfully slow, Dan. I mean, he's throwing them.
Again, an uppercut by Benn, and then it comes over the top with a right and scores.
Iran Barkley is a fighter who's always had a warrior's heart. He's always had a superior will, whether he won or lost, and he's going to need it here. He's lucky that he's in with an opponent whose chin is not rock solid.
Another combination of right hands, and you can see Nigel Benn closing, and he hits Barkley when Barkley's down.
And that should definitely be a point deduction. He's been warned already in this round about hitting a man when he's down. And that is grounds, in my opinion, Dan, if he landed a harder punch for disqualification. That's just outrageous.
Carlos Padilla yells at Benn, but does not take a point away. A legitimate knockdown. A reminder, the 3 knockdown rule is that he's back. And there goes Barkley down to the ground. He's at the 3rd knockdown, Alex.
No, 2nd knockdown. He's stopping it.
Yes. Remember, he knocked him into the ropes right as we started. That was the 3rd knockdown. The fight is over. A 1st round win for Nigel Benn. I assumed that the first big blow by Benn, which knocked Barkley back into the ropes, should have been ruled a knockdown. The ropes kept him from going
No,
down.
you're right. I mean, he took 3 counts. My recollection is.
The 3 knockdown rule is a staple of the WBO. It is how Nigel Benn beat Doug DeWitt with 3 knockdowns in the 8th round, and now with 3 knockdowns in round number 1, he defeats Iran Barkley.
Let's count them. Here comes the first action. Barkley scoring the right, almost a right hook, and down went Iran. And he took a count. There, I mean, you know, that to me, Dan, I absolutely can't tell you how wrong that is, what Nigel Benn did. There's a right hand counter punch.
But hitting afterwards, but you can't dispute it being a knockdown.
No, I can't dispute it being a knockdown, but I'll tell you something.
And there's number 2.
That to me is a disqualification.
I agree.
I mean, who can say how much effect that punch had on Iran Barkley? Been warned already in the round. I think you should have a punch taken away for the first one. I just think it's wrong. I'm not saying it would have changed the outcome of the fight. Right. I think it looked to me like Nigel Benn was going to come back, was going to win the fight anyway, based upon, you know, being the younger, fresher, faster fighter.
And you can see Carlos Padilla there, Alex, look to the official at the side to get confirmation that that was the 3rd knockdown. Don't forget, coming up here on ABC's Wide World of Sports, we'll have Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. A stunner here. We knew it wouldn't go the distance, but we thought it'd go longer than this. Nigel Benn retains his title.
The victory. But I must ask you about something which I feel strongly about on the 1st and the 3rd knockdown. On both occasions, you flagrantly hit the man when he was on the deck.
I was so within myself. I was so hyped up. I just lost everything. The first
But you know you did it, right? I mean, you're aware of it. Let me show it to you. Let's roll the tape. This is the 1st knockdown. You hurt him very early and very quick, Nigel.
He's getting up.
Yeah, but you're being pulled off by the referee. You punched right through him. You saw him down.
No, he wasn't down on his floor. He was down sitting on the ring. If you look here, he wasn't down
but
on
Nigel,
the ground.
The referee was pulling you off of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's something when you're in the ring, you don't know. You see, you're a commentator. You don't know how a boxer actually feels.
That's why I'm
when he's
asking
in the
you.
ring. And when I was in the ring, it was just like, you know, he can't take this away from me.
Right.
There was so much in there. I know you're saying I hit him on the ground, but, you know, it's really hard to actually tell you how I actually feel in that, you know, when you got someone going.
Okay, let's go to the 2nd knockdown. He hurt you in between, did he not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, Barkley's a tremendous puncher. But I know I'm a tremendous puncher as well. And I was so determined to show everybody, hey, us Brits ain't a bunch of pussies. We come to fight.
That time, you see that punch again? That time he was on the deck.
I didn't see that because I was busy
Can we play that back? Bob, could you play that knockdown? I just want to get the response of Nigel, the one we just showed. Because, again, I said, Nigel, I want to tell you, I said I thought that this was grounds for disqualification because you'd already been warned very strongly. He's clearly down, and boom. Do you have any comment on it?
No, I don't. As you can actually see, yeah, he was on the ground. I was so hyped up. I mean, if I didn't catch him in the first round, I would have got him in the second. But there's one person out there I would like. So let's get it on, me and you, Sugar Ray Leonard. Let's me and you get it on. They don't want to see you in Thomas Hearns. They want to see you and a young blood. And you know, me and you can pack out the place. And I've come over here to fight a challenge to you, Sugar Ray. Let's get it on.
Congratulations, Nigel. Thanks for talking to us. I want to talk to Iran. He came out and he hurt you right from the opening bell.
He never hurt me, you know. We was throwing our best. You know, he never hurt me. Caught me with some shots. But I wasn't, you know, it's just bull, man. They just stop it like that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I take it to a protest, but it ain't gonna do no good, but I'm not, you know, look, I'm not mad, you know, I'm not gonna take, you know, I don't wanna sound like I'm trying to protest or stuff like that. But I'm just, you know, I'm not sour grapes at all because the simple fact, you know, he didn't never really hurt me, you know. I went down, but I got up, you know, and I came back. John, now I look at the ref and he's just stopping it.
Iran, you were down 3 times in the round. There is a 3 knockdown rule. On that basis, I don't think you have a grounds for protest. But John Reach, your manager, you do have the grounds, in my opinion, based on the fact that he hit you clearly on the deck 2 out of the 3 times you were down.
It was an illegal blow, Alex, and it's not a knockdown with an illegal blow like that. The third knockdown is suspect, and I'd like to go to before the commission. And as far as we're concerned, we're taking this under protest.
You know, John Reach, the manager, once more, Iran.
I don't believe in sour grapes, you know what I'm saying? If I say a man beat me, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't beat me. Maybe this is the way they felt that they would win it, you know what I'm saying? They got it like this. But, hey, protest or not, I don't want to sound like no sour grape or nothing like that. But, hey, I just think, you know, I demand a rematch. If not, you know, no problem. You know, I think if that's it, I'll just hang up the glove.
Thanks, Iran. Thanks for talking to us. Let's go back down to ringside and Dan Deardorff.
Okay, Alex. Well, that first round knockout by Nigel Benn allows us to bring you one of the most memorable nights in recent history, and that was the 1987 fight when Marvelous Marvin Hagler defended his middleweight title.
Freedom for Indonesia on your 50th anniversary.
It's Robert Wangila, who is